Hey guys, it's Mrs. Pickett. We are going to keep thinking about data interpretation, but this time we're going to talk a little bit about, now that we've gathered all of our data and we've determined what the median, the mode, and the range is, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to organize the data? So typically when we organize data, we use some kind of graph. Today's graph that I want to spend some time talking to you about is going to be a bar graph. So let's just jump right in. Okay, so here's a bar graph, and this is going to show you some data. And if you think about the title of the graph up here at the top, you're going to see that the information that's going to be graphed is all about the types of pets that we own. So that's our title. With a bar graph, typically your title is always going to be at the top. Down here at the bottom, you can see that our different points of data are rabbit, dog, cat, goldfish, and hamster. And this is the categories that we collected in. And so what we did is to get this information, you probably asked what kind of pet you own, and then you had these different options of rabbit, dog, cat, goldfish, or hamster for your people to answer those questions. As I am looking at this information, there is one thing missing, and we don't have a title down here at the bottom, which we call our x-axis. The x-axis is the categories most often when we are graphing data. So our x-axis is down here at the bottom, just runs right across, and I would say that the title for that axis would be type of pet. So let's put type of pet in there. Help these people out. Might have gotten cut off in my picture. And then over here on our y-axis, we have the number of people, right? So what you see here is you see each bar goes up to a certain number, and the actual range of the data is going from 0 to 11, so the range would be 11, and we're jumping up 1 every time. Sometimes in charts they might go by 5s, by 10s, by hundreds, depending on how much information you need to chart. It's hard to go by 1s when you need to go all the way to 100 or 1,000. So sometimes people will count by 10s or 5s or something like that. Here's another example of a bar graph that you're gonna see also has a title up here at the top. Here we go. And it has, but you're gonna notice that the bars aren't going up at this time, they're going to the side. This is another way you might see bar graphs, and I wanted to go ahead and expose that to you today. But for us in class, most of the time our bar graphs are going to go vertical instead of horizontal. So I just wanted to give you another example that in this situation, the y-axis is actually the category. So remember, the y goes up and down. This is the category, which would be, looks like favorite after school activities. And having some trouble here, sorry. Maybe because I'm writing sideways. Here we go. And then down here, our interval, you're going to see is number of students, and you're also going to notice, hopefully, that the interval is going by 20s. And this axis is my x-axis. So basically all they did is they flipped the other chart and kind of flipped it on its side, if you guys can see that. So so let's just go ahead and talk about how we make our own chart. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do when making your own chart is just make your y-axis and your x-axis. So this is my y and this is my x. Okay, and then you're also going to want your title. The title of this graph is going to be teachers favorite colors. Okay, and remember, with titles, just like titles of books, we want to make sure they're capitalized. Our interval is over here. So how am I going to count? I'm going to count by 2s today. So I'm going to say 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then my category is colors. So here's my category. And I'm going to do, the options were blue, pink, and yellow. Okay? So if I told you 6 people chose blue, what you would do is you would go all the way up here to the 6th, and you would want to draw a horizontal line to the blue, and then just shade it in. Sometimes just for, to make sure I'm accurate, I like to put a 6 up here at the top, just to make sure I've got the right information. For pink, I only had 3 people choose pink. Now what you're going to notice is I don't have a 3 on my data chart. So what I have to do is I have to go right in between the 2 and the 4. So I'm going to kind of pretty much just cut that right in half. And again, go down to the pink and shade. And then yellow, I had 5 people. So again, yellow was right in the middle. So I'm going to have to go in the middle of 4 and 6. This is a little bit harder. 4 and 6, here we have it. Shade it in. And there you have 5. So that's about it. There is one thing that we probably need to add over here on the side. I forgot to label my axis, my y-axis, and I should probably call that number of teachers. So I'm going to write number of teachers. The most important thing in a chart, in a bar graph like this, is just to make sure that you're super neat, because if you get messed up in your lines or your spaces or anything like that, the data is not going to be accurate, and then it's going to be really hard for anybody to understand your data. All right, guys, that's it. Hopefully you kind of have a better understanding of bar graphs. I do have one challenge for you in the next few days. Search around your house, talk to your parents, see if you can find any bar graphs that maybe your parents use at work, or at home, or maybe you can find in the newspaper, and bring it into school so we can take a look at it and see if it has some of the things we've talked about that we notice in bar graphs. So I will see you soon, and your joke for today is, what letter of the alphabet can hurt you? All right, I will see you soon. Bye.